Okay, I'm going to start with answering these questions. Now I will kind of do them where I know I talked about, not skipping steps, but for you to check them, I'll probably, do a few steps at once and kind of condense it for a little bit for just time's sake, and you're kind of just checking where you went wrong so you can look at your steps and see if you made a mistake somewhere in there, and to just kind of see as we go forward when we're using these problems later on how I may do them to kind of shorten it up. But I put these are the PEMDAS problems. These were the combining like terms, so we're going to go through and kind of do these, and I may have to rewrite some of these as we get going to just have room and show you that. So, but let's start with the PEMDAS and the order of operations to kind of go through and answer these, and you can check your work. So remember PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division together, addition, subtraction together. So let's go through here. We've got an addition, division, so we're going to do the division first. So we're going to end up 6 plus 2, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then we end up with 8, okay? Then we've got a subtraction, multiplication. Multiplications first, so 3 times 4 is 12, so we're going to have 7 minus 12, which is negative 5. Now, like I said, if you're maybe got this part right and you're still missing negative numbers, you'll want to watch a video on integers. That's INTEGERS, and just look up on YouTube. You can look up integers, or you can even type in positive, negative numbers, and it will kind of refresh that for you if you're missing it at that point. We're not going to be spending time on that. That's a pre-algebra, thing that you learned in that class, and we're going to be moving on from there. So check that out. This one, we are going to do the division first, even though it's, you think M and D, they're a tie, so it's left to right then. So you're going to get 8 plus 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay, and you still have to do the times 3 before you do the addition. So it's 8 plus 6, 2 times 3 is 6. So you should have ended up with 14. Okay, this one you're going to work inside the parentheses first, and you're going to do the multiplication inside the parentheses first, so you're going to get 5 minus 6, and that's still in parentheses. You've not gotten out of it yet. Then you do 5 minus 6 is negative 1, okay, and that can either be in parentheses or not, but you're done inside the parentheses, and so now you just do negative 1 plus 8, which is a positive 7. All right. This one here is a little bit longer. This is where I may skip a few steps. But basically, you need to work inside the parentheses first. So what I'm going to do here is say, okay, I'm working inside the parentheses. I have to do the exponent first, which is 4 times 4, 4 times itself, is 16. 16 plus 3 is 19. So I did 2 steps at once because I did the exponent first, 16. And then I went ahead and did the 3 plus 16 and got 19 because I worked inside the parentheses first. Now on this part, like I said, I'm going to do the multiplication first before I do the addition, and then I'm going to do the multiplication or division first before I do the addition, and then you're going to do the multiplication. So you're going to end up, I'll go ahead and do each step, 4 plus 19 minus 3 times 2. Okay, and then you do 4 plus 19 minus 6, you got to do the 3 times 2. Now you just go left to right. So I'll do it in one step. 4 plus 19 is 23. 23 minus 6 is 17. All right, let's do this last one here. And let me actually rewrite that one because that's going to be pretty tight to do that. So you've got 6. Is number 6, 6 plus 5 minus 6 divided by 2 plus 4 times, give me a little more room here, 4 times 3 plus 2 squared. Okay, so I can work in both parentheses simultaneously, so you know, I can work inside the parentheses on both of these and do them at the same time. So 5 minus 6 divided by 2, I have to do the 6 divided by 2 first. So the 6 divided by 2 is 3, 5 minus 3 is 2. Over here I have to do the exponent first. 2 times itself is 4, 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay, then I've got to do the multiplication here next. 4 times 7 is 28. And then I do all addition. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 28 is 36. Okay? So that's the steps. Go back through, check maybe where you made a mistake. Now remember, because these are longer problems and addition subtractions, there's going to be math mistakes that you make, and that's okay. You know, we're all going to make math mistakes. I've even had a video, I think it was in 1926. No, I'm kidding. I make math mistakes. I had a video, I think, a couple terms ago where I had made I was using a calculator because we were doing percentages and it was long, and we were doing, you know, decimal points and all that, and I'd hit a wrong button on a calculator. So you're going to make math mistakes. Those are going to happen. That's fine in the way of you want to fix those, you want to get better at that, but what you're really checking for is, are you getting the concept right? So don't, you know, if you miss one because you made a math mistake, but yet you were doing it in the right order, that's okay. That's going to happen from time to time. But now if you're missing all of them, if you're doing all the steps wrong, kind of, you know, make sure you're checking through that first video again where I talk about that. Make sure to reach out to me and maybe ask some questions based on how I answered those. You know, that's what you're mainly focusing on. Did I at least do the steps right? Maybe I made a math mistake in there, and you can pinpoint that and start trying to fix those, but you're really kind of checking, am I doing the order right? On these, combining like terms, so number 1, I can do that one here. They're all x's, so they're all the same variable. They're all the same exponent, so I can just combine them all, okay? 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 minus 3 is 9, so my answer is 9x. Okay? Just 7 plus 5 is 12, minus 3 is 9. So 9x is that one. Same thing with this one. They're both y's. They have the same exponent, so you can just do 3 minus 5 is negative 2y. That's your answer. Okay? And I know it seems weird, like I said, it seems weird leaving them with letters in there. These are not equations. They're not you know, they're not equations where they're equal to something yet. They are just, you're just combining them and then leaving that. We don't know what y is yet. Later down the road, like you learned in pre-algebra, you can substitute in something for y and plug it in there and figure out what that is. But that is what you're leaving it as, okay? Number 3, and I'm going to erase these so I've got a little more room to rewrite it here, is 2a. This is riveting TV watching me rewrite a problem, right? 4b minus 3b plus 7a, okay? So that's number 3, 2a plus 4b minus 3b, 7a, just remember, I wrote those down right. So I can combine the a's. 2a plus 7a is 9a. I can cross them out because I used them. And then 4b minus 3b is 1b, and it's positive 1 because the 4 is bigger than the 3. So it's plus, it's positive, and it's 1b. And because I don't write 1, there's 1b. And I can't combine those together, so that's my answer. 9a plus b. Okay? Number 4, 7x squared minus 2x plus 3y plus 5x squared. Okay? So I'm going through and I'm seeing, is there another x squared? There is. 7x squared plus 5x squared is 12x squared. Okay. Is there another x up here? No. So it's just 2x. And is there another y? No, it's just 3y. And then I do a quick check to make sure there's no more like terms. There is not. So that is my answer. Okay. Number 4. Okay, number 4, let's check this here for a second. Give me just a second, I'm going to cut some outside noise here a little bit.
But it's not. But anyways, I just want to check on you how you're doing.
So now on number 5, you're gonna combine your c's that are in the same thing here. So let's rewrite this one, get a little more room here. 4c cubed plus 2c squared plus 5c cubed minus 3c squared. Okay, so I'm going through and I'm saying, is there another c cubed? There is. Okay, and that's 4c and 5c is 9c cubed. Okay, and then I'm going through and saying, okay, here's a c squared, here's a c squared. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So it's negative, and I don't write the 1. It's just c squared. Nothing happens to the c squared. It stays c squared because you're not multiplying or dividing. And so that is your answer there. You can't combine those because one is a c cubed, one is a c squared. All right, number 6 was 5d minus 3c squared plus 4d minus 3d. So I'm going through and okay, I noticed there's several just plain d's, no squares or anything. So I can combine all of these. 5 plus 4 is 9, minus 3 is 6d. And I used all 3 of these. Then I'm just left with this negative 3c squared. Can't combine these, so that's your answer. Now, once again, I'll put it here because you may have these swapped and have it written as 3c squared plus 6d, and that's the same answer. I know it don't look like the same answer, but it is. It doesn't matter what order they're in, as long as that stays negative and that stays positive. And because I switch places, I need to show that positive so that it's not just, if you write it like that, it just looks like all one thing. That's why if you switch places, you do need to have that positive there to show that that's a positive 6d at that point. Okay. Number 7. Is 2x plus 7y squared plus 2x squared plus 4x squared. Wow, I put a long one up here. Nice. And you're going, yes, I know, I had to do this. And let me go ahead and write number 8 as well. 2y plus 3y squared, or 3y cubed plus 2y squared minus 3y minus y squared. Okay. There's number 7, there was number 8. And let's combine here. So on this one, I'm going through and seeing, is there any other just plain x? There is not. Okay, is there any other y squared? There is. 7 minus 8 is negative 1, but I don't write the 1. So it's just negative y squared. If you did write 1, you're not wrong. It's just you want to get out of the practice of doing that. Okay, then 2x squared plus 4x squared is positive 6x squared. 2 plus 4 is 6. Use both of those. And check, you can't add x, y squared, and x squared. Those are all separate terms. Okay, this one, I can combine 2y minus 3y, which is negative 1y. Okay, 2 minus 3 is negative 1. There's no other y cubed. And then 2y squared minus y squared just leaves me with 1y squared, a positive 1. So I don't write the 1, I just write the y squared. Can't combine any of those, so that's what that looks like. Okay? So check your answers, go through if you need to watch it a couple times. Just kind of check and see, where you made a mistake. Now, like I said, if you made a math mistake 1 in there, or maybe, you're still writing negative 1, or maybe that gives you a little bit, that's okay, that's not the whole concept. Make sure you're still seeing why we're combining. It's got to have the same variable. It's got to have the same exponent. Okay, so check those, and we'll go on from there. Okay, just want to give you a chance to check your work.